Hello. It's been a while, but here we are back again. And it sounds like I already have some people in there. Ah, yay. Okay, let's see who we have here already. Okay, so I know that, let's see, Black's Tropical Homestead made a comment like 2 days ago when I set up this live. Hey, I got three people in here already. Hello. All right, we've got Sarah from Homesteading Hustle. The chicken is in the house. I know you've been waiting for these lives to come back. We've got Kirsten from up here in Massachusetts. David Gray is here. Yay. I missed you guys. Like, I know I see you in the comments and all of that, but like, I haven't been live in a while. Well, I did some lives from Homesteaders of America, and I did like a 5-minute live to test a microphone a couple of weeks ago. But this is different. Yay! Hey, the chicken. Did you officially hit 500? I believe you did, or you were really no. You had to have hit 500. You've got your community tab now. So yay, round of applause. Round of applause. um yeah, so I'm here in my messy room that I really probably maybe should have cleaned before going live. And oh, who's coming up to say hello? Because she's like, I haven't been on a live in a while either. Who are you talking to? Come here, Mia. There's my girl. She was all the way down the end of the bed, and now she's like, hey, I gotta say hello. Mia, ready? Say hi. She's like, no, nope, she just wants cuddles and love. Cuddles and love, huh, girl? Good, that good girl. She's like, you're doing something, so I have to be up in your business. um, yes, so busy summer. Two musicals as well as my board duties, helping out with the other two musicals that we were running, and the garden and real estate, and not as much YouTube as I think I would like, but we're working on that. Um, going to HOA like really made me want to double down on this because it's just so much fun. I met so many like-minded people. It was just great to meet a lot of really awesome channels, especially some that I hadn't really watched before, like Rowan Company, the Beehive Homestead, and actually get to connect in person with some of the channels that I really love. That are you guys would recognize their names, like Leanne from Mennonite Farmhouse, Sherry and Bobby from Black's Tropical Homestead. I got to meet them, and I met Morgan Gold from Goldshaw Farms. Really awesome news there. I've got basically a standing invite to go up to Goldshaw Farm and film a video up there with Morgan and all of that. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So I'm really excited about that. He just said, send him an email and we'll set up a time and I can come hang out. I get to hug Abby Dog. I want to hug Abby Dog. I can't wait. So that's going to be really fun. And who knows what that could bring. He's not far away. He's just a couple hours away up in Vermont. So that's a day trip to go up, and I'll probably visit my cousin Bonnie while I'm up there. That'll be fun. I used to live in Vermont. I don't know that I'd go back. Well, I would go back if I could afford to buy some property up there. Anywhere in New England or New York State or even Eastern Pennsylvania. But I'm really thinking New England is where I want to be. It's just, money is a thing. Mia, you want to either come sit here, come say hi. Come say hi to the people. Come say hi to the people. Hi, there's the Mia. She just wants all the snuggles. She was so happy when I came back from HOA. She was like, oh my goodness, you're here. Oh, hi. Yes. Hello. She's a good smoochy puppy. She's a good smoochy puppy. Okay, back up. Back up. I need to use my hands. Okay, we had people come in, so I want to say hello. All right, so we had David Gray come in. Hey, we got Rick. Welcome to my Cape Cod life. Rebecca from Rebecca Touched by Yarn. Let's see. Nicole Smith Gardening. Um, Vermont is about 4 hours from you. So I used to live in Connecticut too. I grew up here in Massachusetts. This is literally my little brother's childhood bedroom. Um, but I lived here till I was about 20, and then I think I was about 23, and we moved to Vermont for a few years. Quick stop back down here in Massachusetts for a few months, and then we lived in Newington, Connecticut for about 4 years before I moved back up here. So been around New England a little bit. Hey, we got Joe from Garden State Gardener. My Auntie Elaine is here. Yay. Thank you. I actually have my hair down. It keeps like poofing out to the side. So I'm like, stop it. But I got to get a haircut, and I can, now that I'm not playing Carrie's mother in Carrie the musical, I can dye my hair slightly blue again. So that's going to happen. No theater for me until about, I think, late December. I'll be auditioning to play Diana in Next to Normal, which is like roll. And then after that, I'm going to be directing Matilda the musical. I've played Agatha Trunchbull in Matilda the musical, but now it's my turn in the director's chair. So I'm very, very excited. Rochelle is here. Rochelle was stuck in the ads. Hey, I appreciate you watching the ads. For those few of you that are in here that are not YouTubers, watching the ads is how YouTubers make money. So I appreciate, as well as, things like super chats, super stickers, things that you can put in the chat there to help support the channel, PayPal, all that fun stuff. And I will try not to be like, hey, support the channel as much. I hate doing that. It feels weird. Yeah. So I love that Rochelle knows Auntie Elaine. Andy M. Let's see. Okay, so I think I'm caught up on the comments. Yay. Yeah, so I'm on a theater break, but I'm still on the board, and we're dealing with touchy situations with some of our people. So we're working on that. Yeah. So, but lots of good stuff coming up with my theater. I know it's not gardening related, but the theater is a very, sorry, Mia got like a hair on the edge of my nose. I also pay for YouTube Premium, and let me tell you, it is worth every penny of it. I don't know how well that pays other creators, but I feel kind of bad about that, that I don't know how that works. But I do know that I don't have to sit through ads, and that I can, let me tell you, the being able to play in the background, or if I shut my phone off and still have it playing, is amazing. It means I get to watch, listen to so many more creators' videos, because I'll just play them when I'm in my car and I'll be listening. I can't comment usually. I'll give the thumbs up and give it a like, but I can't comment on things because I'm driving, but it does mean that I get to listen to a lot more because I get to use that dead space of driving time. Let me see. Woo, hey! We got Barb's Country Home. Garden to Table with Heather Lynn. Woohoo! You get more from a premium account. Good to know. Yeah. Yep. For the family account. I remember that. Yeah, so with theater, things are about to get very big for us because we were able to secure the rights to some big shows this year. Actually, if somebody wants something really fun to do this weekend, one of the shows that we're doing right now is called Wicked. It is a parody musical. It's a parody of the musical Wicked, only it's for Star Wars nerds, and it's about Wicket, the Ewok, and the wars in the stars. Yeah. It's really funny, and no matter where you are in the world, you can watch it because it is available for streaming. So if you guys want to watch it, I'm not in it. I am not in it. But I am helping out my group with it this weekend. But yeah, if you want information, just Dramatically Incorrect Theater in Lowell, Massachusetts. If you want to go look it up, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, it's streaming. It's a live stream, and yeah, it's cheap entertainment. Um, but we're doing some big shows next year, and I'm kind of like, my mind's a little blown. We're doing Next to Normal, which is an amazing Tony-winning modern musical, contemporary musical, and I am going for the lead in that one. I'm going to hopefully play Diana, which would blow my mind. Then I'm directing Matilda the musical. Then we've got Avenue Q and Rocky Horror, as well as the plays Lovesick, Diva Analysis, and You Can't Take It With You. So that's going to be kind of a crazy season. But speaking of seasons, it is fall. Is anybody doing any fall gardening? I got so busy with Carrie and then Homesteaders of America that I actually did not plant anything for fall. I'm really sad. Yeah, I'm a little busy. Actually, I don't know if any who's been watching my videos over the summer, but right now I am on really restricted activity. As my doctor put it, I've been busting my butt for so long. I have literally busted my butt. um, so all the muscles in my back end are messed up, and that's why I had so much trouble. I don't know if you remember my other videos, my other lives all winter long. I was like trying to find comfy positions because no matter where I sit, my hips hurt. I had double bursitis. I had bursitis in both hips, and then over the summer it went into my knees. So between my hips and my knees, the only comfortable position was laying down on my stomach. So it was really, really bad. So now I'm in physical therapy. I cannot do a musical if I have to dance. I can't play softball. I have to reduce my physical, activity in general. Thing is, I'm a nanny, and there really isn't a way to reduce physical activity unless I quit my job, which I can't do because I gotta pay bills and I gotta save for that homestead. Thankfully, my nanny kiddo is back in school now, so she's in school 4 days a week. So I only have her for a full day once a week, unless she gets sick. Then I have to go in. But yeah, so I'm doing a lot of physical therapy, and hopefully by springtime, that will be mostly resolved. So we're working on that. I had cortisone shots in my hips to reduce the bursitis, working on physical therapy. And yeah, so no musicals for me unless it's a park and bark. No no dancing, just standing there singing big emotional songs, which is kind of my strong suit because I am not a dancer. Let's see. All right, let me go back and see what people are planting. I am planting something this week, and I'm very, very excited for it. It's going to be a very happy video for me because since I started gardening, the first year I did try to plant some garlic bulbs in fall in a container so that I would have them in spring. And that didn't work because every time I would plant them, the squirrels would come and dig up my pots. And finally, I just got frustrated and I said, forget it. I'll do it next year. I'll get something to go over the pots. Like we'll keep the squirrels out of it. But the next year, as we were coming into fall, my landlord sold the building. So I had to move. And I was moving to a place where I could grow a garden, but I wasn't going to be able to set up the beds until spring. So I tried the garlic in the freezer, and that didn't really do so well. It just grew a bunch of green garlic. It didn't really bulb up. So I've heard use the refrigerator, not the freezer. So I'm going to try that as an experiment this year. But I did, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So then I had that big, beautiful garden, and I was all excited because I'm like, yes, I'm going to be able to plant garlic this year. And then round about August, my landlord goes, hey, we're going to sell the building. You have to take your garden back down to the ground. So I couldn't grow garlic that year either. So that's 3 years in a row. I'd tried to grow, I'd wanted to grow garlic, couldn't. Well, now here I am with my parents' house. I've got the garden out back, and I will be here in spring and probably next spring, the way things are going with saving. I am getting out of debt, though. I am really pulling myself out of debt. So then the savings can stack up. So I'm not saying I'm behind. I'm just taking a slightly different path. We're going to work on debt. Then we're going to work on savings, play it safe. So I'm finally going to be someplace in spring and summer, the same place that I was in the winter. So I can actually plant garlic. I have 2 cloves of organic music garlic that I got from M.I. Gardner, and I'm really psyched to go ahead and plant it. And I'm going to do that this weekend because this weekend is going to be like 70 degrees on Saturday and beautiful. So there will be a video on that. Rocky Horror, yes. I saw you and Carrie. You were so good. Well, so were you, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Hi. Nice to see you in here. Aaron is a new member of my theater group. He played Mr. Stevens in Carrie the Musical, and he was very funny, and I loved it. So I'm hoping to see you back in many productions. I'm just like, oh, I have people I know in this chat. And actually, I do have a lot of people I actually know in chat now, which is really funny. Heather did not plant anything for fall. Yeah, the time got away from me, man. I mean, HOA was so fun. I'll get into that in a little bit too. Nicole Smith. Nicole is doing all the fall gardening. Oh, bunny girl. Kirsten's got a hoop house. I would love to make a hoop house, but I need to like rent a truck or something because my other 2 16-foot cattle panels are at my friend's house in Lynn, and I need to get them here to Beverly. But my one friend with a truck is having truck problems. So I didn't really want to ask her because it's a touchy subject right now. Yeah, for you, it's basically spring. Rick planted some stuff. Hey, our 5-acre homestead. Hello, hello. Broccoli, chard, garlic, and walking onion. I'm wondering, like, we're not going to get a frost looking at our forecast for at least another 10 days. At least, like, I don't see any frost in the forecast. But, like, is it too late to plant some kale? Can I still get some kale in? I think so. I think I might just throw it out there and try it and see what I get. But I wanted to get my cattle panels over here so that I could build a hoop house, just get some greenhouse fabric. I mean, not greenhouse fabric, some greenhouse plastic, put it over the cattle panels and use that as a hoop house. See, you've planted garlic too soon, or you have to plant garlic soon. Yeah, I'm planting mine this weekend. Picked some radishes today. I'm thinking of throwing some radishes in. I should be able to get some radishes. It's only October. Do I use any herbal meds? I haven't, but while I was at HOA, I actually did pick up some comfrey salve, and I am very excited to try it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Gonna plant some more lettuce. 3-pack of, oh my gosh, a 3-pack of romaine hearts was like $9. My God. I'd like to try some walking onions sometime. I've got to get some of those. Need to get the onions and leeks transplanted soon. Time for garlic. Yeah. Woohoo. Welcome to the club. It wasn't. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Too hot with a sweater on, but if you take it off, you're cold. Hey, I mean, it won't even take me 2 seconds. I just got to pound in some T-posts, which I have. I just need to get my cattle panels. Tony from Kettle Kitchen. Hey, hey, hey. Hello. Yeah, so Tony here runs a lot of really great cooking collabs. There was Souptember. I don't know if you ran that one or if Leanne ran that one, but I know that's one of the ones that you were doing. The jams and jelly months. I'm going to be part of Tony's collab for Noodle November. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to spoil what I'm making just yet. I did message Tony in the long email thread of what I'm going to be making, and I'm very excited because it's one of my favorite dishes. Where is the onion going? You know what? I like lame mom jokes. I tell a lot of lame mom jokes. I think the kale will be okay. All right. I think I'm going to throw some out there. I wish I still had some more of that winterborn kale because it really does well. Yeah, I think the comfrey should help. I've never actually used it before, but I'm going to try it. Your walking onions came from So True Seeds. Nice. Hey, our Georgia Suburban Homestead. Hello, hey, hey, hey. Let's see. Need to harvest your onions and other things. Oh, you have some walking onions? Ooh. Nice. And our Georgia Suburban Homestead saying hi to everybody. Need to go do more collabs. Haven't had time. I feel that. Oh, and yeah. Your husband is sick. That is no fun. Oh, you did some field peas as a cover crop in the cool. That's awesome. Hey, hey. I'm thinking I might use a cover crop this year. I'm not sure exactly what I want to use. I've got the 6x16 space, and I think I would like to use something over that. I've got to amend that bed because let me tell you, I know that the weather was really bad, but and I know I got a lot of things in late, but it felt like nothing really grew in this garden this year. So I'm thinking that the soil really needs, I've got to do a soil test and re-amend the bed because like my dad was always every year amending it with compost and with manure, and I'm wondering if he just maybe hasn't gone through that effort for a little while. So I think maybe the soil's just kind of depleted, even though it's good, like rich looking soil, but I'm thinking it could be missing some things because for the most part, everything stayed super small. So I've got to re-amend it with a bunch of compost. Thankfully, I have wonderful chickens out there. I don't like butterflies. What? I'm confused. I missed something. Yeah, because it's clean out some of your other garden spaces. I do want to add more garden space because that bed, instead of being 6x16, it used to be like 12x16 or something like that. So I would like to extend it out and make that bed to the side there. Um, you know what's funny is I had more zucchini this year than I have ever had in my life. There are no squash bugs and just zucchini, 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 zucchini. It's still out there producing. Like I've had zucchini coming out of my ears. I've been picking zucchinis and tossing them straight into the chickens. That many zucchini. But not a lot of tomatoes, not a lot of squash. I've got two angel hair spaghetti squash out in the garden that I'm getting ready to pick. Um, I still do have one, like, I don't know what size that is, like not even baseball sized Kajari melons. I have one little Kajari melon that has not grown in a couple weeks. So I'm wondering if that tiny little Kajari will actually ripen, or if it's just going to go, be chicken food as well, an unripe melon. The field peas have been loving the weather. The weather has actually been pretty beautiful lately, aside from the, couple days of rain. Cucumbers were horrible. Yes, I think I got 5 cucumbers from like 4 plants. Yeah, it was not great. You had all the squash bugs. I'm sorry. I'm not taking them back. 12 days of 12 days of cookies. Ooh, I love cookies. Woo! You're in for Croctober. I know. I need to do Pumpkin Palooza. I feel kind of bad. You picked your first Kajari melon last week. Woo! You got it. I'm gonna have to do some crock pot cooking later this week. I need a good beef stew. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened here. Only not so much with the smoke. We didn't have the well, I take it back. We did have wildfires here, but they were not anything that threatened my area. We actually did have a few. That's right. We did have smoke. From the fires at the Breakheart Reservation, at the Lynn Woods Reservation, um up in Gloucester. So actually we did, now that I think about it, we did have a couple of wildfires around here causing a lot of smoke. Okay, I take that back. We had that. Ooh, I do have an Instant Pot. Hoo. Oddly enough, none of my cucumbers turned yellow this year. They just got to a certain point and then they just stopped growing. And it used to be that I would get cucumbers that would be like 10, 11 inches long, and really big around, and they wouldn't be bitter. They'd be wonderful. But this year they were short, they were skinny, and they didn't like plump up. And yeah, they never really did anything. So, yeah, I had horrible peppers this year. Last year I had tons of peppers, tons of tomato. Last year I had tons of everything. The only thing that didn't really turn out a whole lot were the potatoes, maybe. They were just a lot of really small ones, because we had the potato bug infestation, that took me about a week to get under control. But yeah, pardon me. See, the hips for sinus. Um, da, da, da. The trick for getting decent Brussels sprouts in New England, plant them early. I grew them through the whole year. Fertilize heavy. They're very heavy nitrogen feeders because they're really a leaf crop. And then once they're a couple feet tall and really bushy, start snapping off the lower leaves, because that's going to encourage the Brussels sprouts to Brussels. I don't know. But yeah, that's what causes them to really start growing. Yeah. Let's see. I don't pinch the tops, but maybe I should at some point. Um, I've never pinched the tops of my Brussels sprouts, but I think I just might. All right, you just sent me the recipe through Facebook. Awesome. You know, I don't mind having little potatoes because I will roll them in butter and salt and I will roast them and then just pop them right in. See, so yummy, so yummy. I will take that any day of the week. Yeah, I had a lot of horrible things. You know what did really well aside from the zucchini though is the strawberries. Hello, Heather. Garden to Table with Heather Lynn. I went to her house back in May. Something I think it was May, early May, late April. Um, ooh, lemon parsley potatoes. Sounds really good. Okay, I've never actually had mine get 4 feet tall. Um, Mine got about 3 feet tall, and then they started making Brussels sprouts, but um, helps force the sprouts to head. I mean that it makes sense. It makes sense. I will definitely try that if I grow them next year. You only got one fall strawberry? Oh no! With all those plants? Hey, the organized pineapple is here. Hello. Okay, so yeah, I want to say roundabout May, I went to Heather's house, and when I say that she was overrun with strawberry plants, I am not underselling it. There were tons and 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 tons of strawberry plants, and I took about 10 of them and I transplanted them up into the top of my green stalk, and now my green stalk is covered with runners. Those they have multiplied into more strawberry plants than I could ever put into the green stalk. Um, some of the cups have like 2 or even 3 strawberries in the strawberry plants in them. It's a little too much. I may have to thin those. Um, but they were still giving like they suffered in all the summer heat, but as soon as it cooled off, like it was super hot up here. And I know for those down south, 95, not hot, but it was 95 for weeks on end with no rain. And so pretty much everything suffered. But once, like all of a sudden, the heat broke in mid-August and it's been in the 70s ever since. Um, the 60s and 70s, and lately the 50s. I don't like it. I don't want winter. So yeah, round about mid-September, they were just so happy and started throwing off flowers all over the place. I've been eating so many strawberries that literally I've been tossing them to the chickens. Like, here you go. And I'm kind of obsessed with my chickens, guys. Kinda, just a little bit. It went down to 27 in your area. Oh, yeah, I don't get it. You guys have had frosts down there and we haven't. It's very weird. This has just been a weird year, guys. Um, I'm not going to get into the whys and the causes and all of that, but one thing you realize when you get into gardening and growing, you pay attention to weather patterns, you pay attention to seasons, and climate change is a thing. You can have whatever opinion that you have based on whatever information that you have. Um, on what the cause of it is, but it's happening. My frost dates have shifted. The weather is weird. Like, it's getting hotter and colder. I mean, and every year is different, but there's a shift. There's like a lane shift. You know what I mean? So that's really influenced yeah, I if I weren't right here on the coast, because we're kind of in a microclimate, because right on the coast, you've got the moist air coming off the ocean, and believe it or not, that makes us a little bit warmer. So the North Shore of Massachusetts and then the Cape, we're just a little bit warmer than the rest of Massachusetts. So you're probably what, like 5A, 5B there, and you're only an hour or so away, and I'm 6B. So it's weird how that works, like microclimates and things like that. Coastal living, that's right. Yep, dramatic temperature changes, stronger storms, and yeah, which is why oh yeah, you're on, see, if I were on the Cape, I'd be 7A. Right. Um, yeah, spring is later and fall has been generally later as well. Um, yes, I saw that. I was reading about that, um, the snow crab situation, and yeah, they canceled it. Um, okay, yeah, you're probably like 5B. Um, wow. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know much about trees yet. Someday I will have many trees. Um, yeah. So I mean, yeah, whatever you feel the reasons are for it, it's happening. And when you grow, you see the patterns. Um, and that's really influenced a lot about where I want to live, because I was thinking, or about where I want to buy, because I was thinking, well, if I want to live somewhere warmer but not too warm, then I have to go south but not too south. And now I'm thinking I'm just going to stay up here. um yeah. So so Central Mass had a frost. We haven't yet here on the coast, and it's going to be, about 38 tonight. And it was about 38 last night, but then it's going to be in the 40s and 50s at night for the next like week and a half. So that's why I'm thinking time to get my garlic in. I have time to plant some radishes. I have time to plant some kale, maybe some spinach. So maybe some chard. I mean, I don't know how long. No, Georgia was not on the list. Georgia was not on the list. Maybe North Carolina. Maybe. After that, it is too hot. It is too hot. Like I always used to say, I love warm weather. All right, Mia, you got to get off my leg. Move. I need you to move. Ow. Sorry. Ow. When you got to straighten your leg, but you got a dog laying on it. Oh, you haven't closed the windows yet in your apartment. I have, but I still have my air conditioner in. I just kind of threw a blanket over it. I'd want to be inland in the woods, kind of in the mountains, closer to Kentucky. But yeah, no, I'm looking up here for sure. It's New England, New York State, maybe Eastern Pennsylvania. Your spinach has gone dormant. Well, then I guess I won't bother trying that. But kale should be able to do it. The radishes should be able to at least make something before it gets too cold. Um, yeah. So yeah, fall, cold weather, winter. Ugh, I'm not looking forward to winter, but I am looking forward to finally getting some things organized around here, because last year my everything went so late was because I had just moved in here and there was so much work to do. There's still so much work to do in this house, to make things, really cozy, but I've been too busy. So this year I'm going to really be able to organize my seed starting, because last year I was very behind and things were all over the place. But this year I've got a dedicated setup, and I'll actually be able to go and put it in the windows. So we'll probably do that. Tatsoi would probably still grow. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, Rochelle would know exactly what it's like to have the dog laying on your leg. Only um, Mia is like 4 times Dexter's weight right now. So, well, okay, maybe not four, but I'm gonna say at least 3. Um, yeah, that's a good point. Living in a basement apartment does not make for good ventilation. Although living up here in this room doesn't make for good ventilation either. I can't really open the windows. The only reason the window is open enough for the like I haven't taken the air conditioner out, not because it hasn't been cold enough. It's just that I haven't had time to have my dad help me with it. And if I try to take it out myself, the whole window just might go. This house needs fixing. But okay, so let's see. I haven't done an HOA recap video yet. I'm going to try to film that tomorrow, depending on how things go. I'm going to go and pull a whole bunch of stuff out of the garden. It's going to be semi-harvest, semi-garden cleanup, and semi-talking about HOA. Or I may just do that as a separate video, and I may do a video just recapping HOA with what little film that I have. I really should have filmed more because the only clips that I have at the moment, the only clips I really have are little videos of all the animals. You know, there were sheep, there were goats, there were rabbits and alpacas and puppies and yeah, herding dogs. And it was a very animal filled weekend. So that was pretty cool. So I got clips of all the animals and a video with Jess from Roots and Refuge. So that was pretty cool. It was 62. So 62 is my happy sleeping temperature. When my parents put on the heat in here in the house, somehow all the heat seems to come here, and it's 75 or more in my room, and I am dying. I am dying. It's a little toasty in here right now for me, and it is 66. Oh, 66.6. Yeah. um yeah, so I wish it was a couple degrees cooler. It's weird because if it's 66 outside, I want to be in a sweater and a jacket. I don't know how that works. Yeah, but if it's over like 65, I don't even want a blanket. And that didn't used to be me. I used to want everything nice and warm and toasty, but now I can't sleep unless it's cool. Yes, so HOA, very fun. Got to film with Jess from Roots and Refuge, and that was amazing. She is super crazy nice. You can tell like peopling is not her thing. Like she enjoys it, but it's like, I'm so tired. um, yes, that is the game for October. My goal is always to make it to November before I turn the heat on. I also got featured in Goldshaw Farms video about can homesteaders tell the difference between farm fresh eggs and Walmart grocery store eggs. And I will tell you right now, you should go watch the video because it's very funny. And I was featured there, and did I win? See, I've had chickens now that have been laying eggs for about 2.5 months. It seemed like most people guessed right, which was pretty cool. But 2 notable fails, Justin and Rebecca Rhodes. Neither one of them guessed which were the farm fresh eggs. They both thought the Walmart ones were. I, however, could tell, and I guessed right. So woo, yay me. Let's see. I got my first sourdough starter. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. See, I'm thinking out loud and planning my week for videos. I think I'm going to do a recap video. I'll show you my cute little animal videos as well as all the swag that I got, because I got lots of stickers. I got to meet so many cool people. I got to meet Cassandra from Girl in the Garden. I got to meet the Beehive Homestead. I got to see Sherry and Bobby in person. We didn't even meet each other up at HOA. I was at Walmart, came around a corner and almost walked into them. I had to hug Bobby twice because he's just, those big muscly arms are just made for hugging. Made for hugging. Let's see. So I did listen to a little bit of all the talks, like Joel Salatin, Daniel Salatin, some things on herbal healing, which was something that really, really interested me from a young age. Thing on livestock guardian dogs. Yeah, there was just so much going on. Like I can't wait to go next year, and I'm going to have to plan it a little bit better so that I really make all of the talks that I wanted to, the worm composting. I felt really, really bad because Doug and Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy were doing a really good talk about how about starting an off-grid farm, off-grid homestead when you have no money. And it was a really, really good talk. And I'm just sitting there in the tent going, because I was so tired. And it was so hot in the tent that day. That was the day one where it was like 75, which is not really that hot. But when you've been in 50-degree weather for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden you're in like almost 80-degree weather and you're tired and in a tent that was still kind of warm. Ugh. Yeah, I can't wait to go back there again next year. It was very, very fun. Made a lot of good friends of people that I didn't know before then, like Full Circle Homestead, which that was Whitney and Brian. He's an alpaca shearer, and they have their own homestead where they raise their own meat. They grow almost all their own vegetables. Like almost everything they eat at this point is coming from their farm, and that's amazing. Yeah, so there were just so many great talks, and I can't wait to go back to HOA again. Yeah. Hey, we got Caitlin's Family Homestead. Hello, nice to meet you. Welcome in. I don't know. I'm just rambling tonight. My brain's going boop, 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 subject to subject. Pardon me. I'm going to take a little drink here because my throat's a little. Yeah. So. Well, let me think. And I did do. I did get to talk quite a bit with. Let's see. Hey, Krubby the Beagle. Hello, hello. Yes, I'll be popping up. I'll be in the chat for your live, but I won't be on camera because I'll be busy around here because I'm trying to get some stuff done. Tomorrow's like the only night I can do it. So I'll be washing dishes and chatting and all of that. But hey, Joy of the Garden. Hello, hello. Let me think. So, what was I going to say? Oh, and Mia's trying to get back on my leg. No. You're too heavy right now. You can snuggle up next to me, but not on my leg. This dog, this dog would make a terrible farm dog. She wants to play with the chickens a lot. She really wants to play with the chickens. And the chickens are not into that. They're like, no, 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 we do not want to play with you. So she's not allowed to go anywhere near the back corner of the yard, which thankfully she's on a line anyway, because she can't be trusted. She can't be trusted in this yard if she is not tied, because we just live so close to this super, super busy road. I live like on a 3-lane, 3-lane busy street. Hey, it is Annette from Annie's Kitchen and Urban Homestead Down Under. Hello, hello, welcome in. Yeah, so things are slowing down because I'm being made to slow down. Hopefully I can play softball again next summer, but I may have to take the summer off, which will be sad because that'll be the first time in 3 years that I haven't played softball. There's not a whole lot of dancing in a lot of the shows that I'm going to be involved with this year. So there's that. So theater's going to get really busy over the winter, but getting into spring should be much better. So yeah, I should be more organized here and have that all ready. Yeah, there was something I was going to talk about and I can't remember what it is. Oh, that's right. Okay, I was saying that I did get to talk quite a bit with Doug from Doug and Stacy. Very nice guy, very personable guy. I did get the feeling that he was on and in character the whole show, the whole weekend, which the fact that I felt he was in character and not just himself kind of sticks with me a little bit. But yeah, let's see. Who else did I see down there? I did talk to Tom from Murray McMurray. Let's see. I did say I'm going to be going up to Goldshaw Farm and doing a video up there. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. I did see Leanne from Mennonite Mennonite Farmhouse. And again, she's somebody else who is exactly who she in person as she is online. I talked to Jill from Whispering Willow Farms, Jack from the Mindful Homestead, who I've also seen. I've seen before because he was the one that hosted the or helped, was the main organizer really of the New England Homesteaders of New England gathering that I went to, the first ever Homesteaders of New England gathering this summer. I guess, yeah, technically summer. It was like the first weekend in September. Second weekend in September. And I'll definitely be going to that next year. I think what I'm going to do, actually, instead of just going, is next year I'm going to be a vendor. I'd like to, I don't really sell a lot of things, but what I can make is, what I'm thinking I'll do is get a whole bunch of like fall plant starts going. So brassicas and lettuces and kales and, a couple of bucks a pop for 6 cell trays or something like that, because I have a ton of 6 cell trays sitting around that I've actually decided I don't really like using. So I've got to use them somehow. So I may as well make some fall plant starts and sell them next September. People can take them home, just go pop them in. Yeah. So I don't know. HOA was very fun. Didn't do any fall gardening, but I do get to put in some garlic this week. Okay, chicken updates. Here we go. We can talk about my chickens because, like I said, I'm getting kind of obsessed. Well, being so busy with a couple of theater productions, I got behind on using my eggs And while I was in HOA, so I was gone for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday I had to work all day. So I didn't get to, I didn't, no, can you, no, not on my leg. Thank you. Sorry, my dog. For those of you who are just coming in, she keeps trying to sit on my leg and it really hurts my hip right now. So she's like, but I want to cuddle you. And I'm like, I want to cuddle you too, but not on my leg. It hurts. Yeah. And I got off track again with the dog. Um, Oh yeah, okay, the chickens. So I got behind in my egg usage, so now I'm gonna have to. So, and my parents didn't harvest the eggs the whole 6 days. So I came out. I basically, and so I came out, and Tuesday's eggs had already been laid, all of that. So I had a whole week's worth of eggs. Um, I am going to water glass some of them. Tomorrow, I'm going to go through and do a float test with all of them. Anything that even so much as stands up, I'm going to break them separately. And anything that's still okay, I'm going to scramble up and feed back to the chickens. And some of them to Miss Mia here because she deserves some eggs. Do you deserve some eggs? Yeah, give you some eggs instead of your kibble in the morning, maybe. It'll be good. It'll be good. So yeah, I'm gonna do some water glassing, I think. But I mean, actually, if most of them are still good, I'm gonna give them to my friend because she likes fresh eggs. So I'll do that and try to catch up. I'm gonna do a lot of baking. Um, You know what's really funny? She's half beagle, half pug. That should make her one of the gassiest dogs on this planet, but she really never has those. She really never is stinky. So, mm, I mean, I'll give her some eggs in the morning and then I'll go off to work and she'll be hanging out with my parents too. So, no, I'm just kidding. She's not a stinky dog. So if she has a couple of farts after eggs, I think we can forgive her. It's not very often that it happens. So yeah, but the eggs will be good for her. The ones that, I'll give a lot to back to the chickens. Um, yeah. So let me think. So my chickens are still only 2 out of the 4 are laying, and I'm getting a little frustrated with the 2 freeloaders. Um, Not that I mind terribly much because right now I am up to my ears in eggs. But once I catch up, once I do some water glassing and do some baking and things and, some breakfasts, um, that, I should be able to catch up between myself and my parents pretty quickly, especially if I do give it a dozen or so, because I think I have like 3 dozen eggs right now. um, the um, leghorn does lay every single day, and the olive egger lays mostly every day. Sometimes she'll skip a day or a couple days of the week. She'll lay like 3 days in a row and skip one, and 2 days in a row and skip one. And yeah, so the other 2 are a speckled Sussex and an Easter egger. The Easter egger was a month younger than the other chickens, but by now they're. Let me grab a calendar. Where's a calendar? I'm going to see how many weeks old this dang Easter egger is. Because, let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 19. 3, 4. The Easter egger is 25 weeks old. So that's over 5 months old. And I'm pretty sure that Easter eggers typically lay by 20 weeks. These were hatched April 25th. So it's been over 6 months. Let me go back. Yeah, I'm a nanny, so I mean, I could give them to my nanny family, but typically they are already getting fresh eggs from their neighbor. um, yeah, I do have a couple of friends who are like, I would like some eggs, so I just need to get around to giving them away. Puppy kibble for protein. I have heard about that, but there's a lot of byproducts and stuff like that. So I figure feeding the eggs back to them is going to give them some good protein too. Um, yeah, your Easter eggers are all laying and they were hatched in April. This thing is like 6 months old. It was hatched at the end of April and not a single egg yet. They take longer. We don't have any supplemental lighting. No, not yet. Um, I do feed black soldier fly larvae. I do. Um, so yeah, I mean they've got all the nutrition they need. It took a while for the olive egger to really get in the swing of things. She kept laying water balloons. Um, and then she'd lay a few hard ones and then a few more water balloons. But eventually, I think her system worked itself out. They constantly have oyster shell, grit. They get black soldier fly larvae. They get garden scraps. They're on layer feed. I'm about to start mixing in a little bit of corn as it starts to get colder. Um, Not a lot, but just like a little bit, some scratch grains, things like that. But they don't get a ton of that. They don't get to free range, unfortunately. So I can't let them out and forage. But I did catch like 3 or 4 really nice grasshoppers in the garden the other day, and I threw them into the chicken coop, and the girls went nuts. Tonight, I didn't really have any garden scraps for them, so I went around the yard and picked a bunch of dandelion leaves, and I fed those. They loved that. Dandelion leaves being very good for them. Some mustard greens, like some mustard weed. Yeah, they had a lot of fun with that. I was going to pen them off in the garden and let them like free range and like um, take care of all the garden like plants instead of having to pull it all out. Um, I was going to just pen them into the garden and let them go nuts. But then I was reading like what they can and can't eat, like what's going to kill them. And I was told basically any nightshades, so peppers, especially eggplant or the leaves, whether it's the fruit or leaves. Chickens can eat tomatoes, red tomatoes, but they shouldn't eat the tomato plant or green tomatoes. Can be very bad for them. So the potatoes, eggplants, tomatoes, um, all of that. So I needed to pull all of that out of the garden. And then I realized that there's really nothing left in my garden once I pull all that out, just a bunch of zucchini plants. Um, oh, there are plans for a chicken tunnel. There are plans for a chicken tunnel coming out of the side of the coop and going all around the garden. And yeah, there are plans. So I don't know, maybe the orange eggplants are different. I don't know. I had read something recently that they should not have that eggplant is very toxic. Um Oddly enough, before I knew that, I threw an eggplant in there that had gotten a little overripe and they wouldn't even touch it. So I feel like somehow they knew, or mine did. I don't know. Um I believe dairy is good for chickens. Um I'm pretty sure. Yes, yeah. No, yeah, people give milk and stuff like that to their birds all the time. So I'd assume dairy is fine. All right, I'm gonna have to move a bit because ow, ow, ow. This hip, both my hips. Ah. All right, so you gave your birds all of that and they were fine, which all right. Okay, all right. Maybe it's, but yeah, either way, my plan was to let them loose in the garden and let them take care of all the plants and things like that, and so yeah. Um, Once I pull the nightshades out, there's really nothing left of the garden. um, let's see. You lost me for a minute. Started the live over. At first, I thought you were just recapping for the newbies. Okay, all right. I hate to do this. I'm gonna have to do a shift here because, ouch. All right, we're gonna move this here. That's gonna come down. Oh. Okay. We'll do that. I mean, I'd imagine it's probably a fast acting thing, and they're probably fine. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Much better. Okay. It's much more comfy. Let's see. Take that. Put that there. All right. Yeah, I figure if it's after a couple of days, I mean, that had to have worked through their system already. And of course, I lay down, get into a comfortable position, and the dog has to go lay on my back. Yeah, get over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There we go. Oh, what a good girl she is. She's also a sleepy girl. She's saying, Ma, why are we still awake? Oh, goodness. Look at that puppy. Look at that puppy. Oh, yeah, I think they seem to know. I have more puppy hair in my nose. What are you doing? Yeah. You can see her tail wagging. Every time I look back at her, it's like, hey, Mia, Mia. And the tail goes. You know what? I don't know. This is just, I mean, I figured take what you read on Google with a grain of salt. I don't know. Hopefully you'll have enough broccoli and kale to get your chickens through the winter. Yeah, I'm gonna be relying on layer feed and and kitchen scraps for the most part. Layer feed, some scratch grains. Yeah, so I'll tell you, these chickens made out this summer because we have tons and tons of, maybe not tons and tons, but we had a lot of grapes because my dad's got 2 grapevines out here. One of them is all up through a tree, so we really can't reach most of them. But the other one is a grapevine that's kind of still down on the ground. Really want to get that up on something. But it's a bunch of Concord grapes, and we weren't doing anything with them this year. I think next year I'm going to try to make some jelly or something like that, and maybe some grape juice. I don't know, but I'm going to make sure that next year I do something with them. But all year I was giving them grapes and grape seeds. Yeah. Yes. So I do feed them scratch grains, and they do have grit. There is constantly grit and oyster shell in the coop, along with their layer feed, and any sort of like garden snacks and things like that they get. Your fermenting feed too. That is something that I do want to try to get into. It's been a very busy summer, and I don't know how much time I'll get to do with that. That I'll have to do that this winter with the things that I have to do inside the house to kind of get this place organized. But I do want to try fermenting the feed. So that's probably something that I'll be doing upstairs in my kitchen, because I'm going to be doing also, I figure if I get into a routine of that and feeding my sourdough starter, because I got a sourdough starter. I mean, it's like dehydrated. So I've got to, feed it and get it going, but I got a sourdough starter and I'm going to get to try making sourdough. I just need to get some wheat flour and, time. Fermenting feed, I don't know the whole process of it yet. I've like watched a couple of videos on it. But you soak it and then you close it up and you let it ferment for a couple of days. And it adds probiotics and the food swells, so they don't eat quite as much of it, but it's got more nutrients in it. So it'll definitely spread out your feed, and it takes a good bit off your feed bill from what I've heard. So I do plan to do that. I mean, I only have 4 chickens, so it's a lot of it feels like a lot of effort for 4 chickens. Like I get 1 bag of layer feed for 4 chickens for like $15, and that lasts me about 2 months. So I don't have a lot of feed cost. I finally found bulk grit and bulk oyster shell. So that's not costing me very much either. Definitely not cheaper than buying eggs at the store, even with the price. But let me tell you, the eggs are better. They are. Is it Otis? It is not Otis. I was thinking of ordering some Otis, but no, I got I can't remember the name of the place that it came from, but it's written on it in the other room. But it's this it was another, I don't know, it was from another farmstead. I don't know. Another YouTube channel. I don't even know if they have a YouTube channel. I've got the name of it in the other, but I got it at Homesteaders of America and in a little packet, and I'm very excited for it. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I have read that, and I haven't been able to bring myself to do it yet, but I need to. Because otherwise there's just going to be rats all over my run this winter. And yeah, so I've got baking soda. I do have Jiffy cornbread mix because I'm in New England. Who doesn't have Jiffy cornbread mix in their cabinet? Yeah, I mean, it is better than using poison, and it is better than using poison, and stay there we go. Yeah, and having that pass on to the local ecosystem. I don't want that, somebody's cat in the neighborhood kills a rat and then it dies because of the poison. I really don't want to do that. Yeah. I mean, I plan someday to have a barn and have a legion of barn cats to take care of the rodent population. And so I definitely don't want to get into the habit of poison to control them, because it's just going to ruin somebody else's day. So poison will not be what happens. Yeah. Because if what eats that rat is poisoned, we're talking in my area, coyotes, fox, fisher cats, things like that, then you're removing a predator of the rats, and you're just making the rat problem worse. Yeah, I've heard possums. Opossum eats rats and mice, but they also will kill chickens, and they will eat. They like to eat eggs. Granted, I really think that now I've finally finished my chicken coop. You'll see it in the video. Actually, was it in a video the other day? No, the completed chicken coop has not been in a video yet. I think I did show you that door was up, but I still had that bigger like gauge wire, like, or bigger like fencing. It was like 2x3 or 1x2 square fence up there to keep the chickens contained. It was definitely not raccoon proof, but now I've got to button up a couple things. I have heard that possums will kill chickens. However, I don't want to actively discourage possums because, yes, like you're saying, they eat so many ticks and they do so many good things, and they're not an animal that can get rabies, things like that. I mean, they're very good to have around. I just want to be able to keep them out of the run. I don't want raccoons, skunks, possum, weasels, whatever. I don't want anything but my chickens in the run. Raccoons, I would like to discourage and keep them out of my yard because they create a mess. I had pigeons when I was a kid. I used to race homing pigeons. And one of the first few weeks that I had them, because I was just a kid and I didn't lock up the coop properly, and a raccoon got in and he couldn't get out, and he killed every pigeon. There was a pile of heads and a pile of bodies, and yeah. Raccoons, I don't know. I've been told that people had possums in their coop and they killed chickens. So I mean, they're not my first thought as far as predator protection. Every thought I have is raccoons. Raccoons, because they are smart and they will get into things. I saw a really cool method for predator deterrence, because they're all looking for a way to get into your coop. So give them a way in. Yes, raccoons will go on a rampage just for fun. They absolutely will. I saw somebody who had a hole into their run, but actually it turned out that the hole was a tunnel, like a little, like 2 or 3 inch tunnel that led straight into a have a heart trap. Possums do kill things, though. They eat small. They do eat small things. The defense mechanism is generally larger prey. I mean, larger predators. Yeah. So basically, the raccoon would go in through the hole through like 2 inches of hardware cloth that was like bent in, and go straight into a have a heart trap. Which I thought was ingenious. So then they could then take it and re-release it somewhere else. And the rest of the coop was buttoned up really well. And it just, if you want them to not be able to get them to, if you want them to not go in, give them an access where they can think they're going in, and then, so I thought that was genius, and I may incorporate that in future coops when I have a larger chicken population. Yeah. Oh, No, I mean, generally, I generally think possums are cool. Um, so, um, I like them in my yard. I don't like them in my chicken coop because they also do love eggs. They will eat the eggs for sure. Um, yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't go take it far away and relocate it. I'd like bring it in the woods out behind my house and let it go. But it's just basically a way to give it an easy way to get in, but you're still protecting your chickens because they're opportunists. They're gonna look for the easy way, and if the easy way still it attracts them to and they're still not gonna get into your chickens, I'll take that because you're still keeping your chickens safe. I don't want to shoot a raccoon. I don't want to do that. I like them. I think they're adorable, but I just don't want to be anywhere near them because they can also be dangerous. So, because those claws, um, any animal threatened, and some raccoons can be really big. Um, fun fact, when I was 10, I was chased by a raccoon. I was, I haven't seen one. Hmm. Hey, FR Humphrey is here. Hello, hello. Yes, so one day I was about 10 years old. I was out riding my bike and I heard this noise up in the trees. And I thought, oh, it must be a squirrel. And I looked up and I saw this fluffy tail and I'm like, that's a raccoon. It's coming down the tree really, really, really fast. Like it saw me and then it tore down that tree. And like, yeah. And it was booking it after me. It got to the ground and it was coming. And thankfully I was able to get on my bike and pedal off down the hill. But I'm pretty sure that particular raccoon was rabid because a raccoon in broad daylight at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so. Yeah. So yes, yeah, possums are generally not a species that are going to get rabies. All right, Rochelle's fallen asleep. Good night, Rochelle. I'm going to wrap this up at 10 because my throat is already like bleh. Yeah, but raccoons will spread it like crazy. So I'm pretty sure that raccoon yeah, but a mom out foraging isn't going to see a 10-year-old kid and then like tear down the tree growling and give chase. I mean, that like I wasn't even like at the bottom of the tree, so it's not like I was like threatening like in the proximity of babies. No, this is something and you're knowledgeable about, so I'll take that. But I was a good ways away from the tree, kind of like looking up and over. And really, I mean, I've seen a lot of raccoon moms. I don't know. It was something about its behavior wasn't right. Because I mean, I've come across a lot of raccoons since then. So when I lived in Swampscott, there was a raccoon family that lived in the tree. Behind my house, and I could see. Yes, yes, I saw that thing coming down and growling, and it wasn't running right either when it got to the ground, though. So that's another thing that really makes me think that there was something wrong with it because its gait was weird. And I know they have like a shuffly gait, but yeah. But yeah, so I used to look out my window early in the morning around sunrise, and you could see the mom and the babies come down from the tree and climb over to my neighbor's second floor porch, and mom would just be up there on the railing and the babies would be down on the porch, like getting into things. And it was or they'd all poke their heads out between the slats. It was really, really cute. Yes, I have seen, I've seen a dog that had that going on, as well as a couple of foxes. Not fox, coyote. What we have a lot of around here is coyotes and fox, with mange. Like there was a fox that had mange so bad last year that it was basically bare. It was naked. And people are like, what is this strange creature that's going around? Oh no, a horse with rabies. Oh. You know, we'll see a lot of coyotes around with bare back legs, bare tails and butts. But fox get mange really badly here. I don't know if that's just a thing species wide, but we get a lot of fox with mange here. And people were like passing this picture around the community groups going, what is this thing? Look at this creature. What is it? And we're like, and people are all like, it's a fox. It's got mange. And they're like, no, that's no way. It's way too big to be a fox. I'm like, do you have any idea how big a fox can be? They're not tiny. Yeah. So I know a lot of that's been keeping the rehabbers busy up here is mangy foxes. We've had some scary coyote things happening lately, and generally I'm of the thought to just leave them alone. But the other night in Swampscott, and it's like 2 minutes from where I used to live in Swampscott. Swampscott is about 15 minutes from where I am now. Chupacabra. Yes, people were like, it's a chupacabra. It's not a chupacabra. It's a mangy fox. Yeah, we had there was a situation in Swampscott the other night where 9 coyotes surrounded a dog walker, and they weren't responding to the hazing. Like the guy was throwing sticks and all of that, and they were just kind of staying beyond his range and like looking for their in. He managed to call Swampscott police, who was about a minute away, and they like rolled up, siren and lights blaring, and they scattered. But it was a scary moment. Yeah, so I'm starting to think like something kind of needs to be done about the coyote population. But we're already complaining about the rat population, and if we get rid of the coyotes, we're going to have major rats. We already have major rats. Not really in the case of coyotes, believe it or not. Coyotes were not a predator that really existed here until the 1950s. They came in and filled a role that was left as all the wolves left, were driven out. And the coyotes bred somewhat with the wolves in the early days, but in the last 100 years or so, more with dogs. So they've got a lot of large dog DNA, some of the gray wolf DNA. And coyotes have evolved in this habitat. We're not pushing them out of their habitat. They came in and evolved to fit the suburban urban habitat. Actually, it's really interesting. I've been reading about this lately, is that urban coyotes, like there are coyotes living in Boston that are genetically different than coyotes even up here on the North Shore. It's like weird. They're developing into different breeds of coyote. It's very interesting. So we're seeing like the real life evolution of a wild species, which is kind of cool. Um, well, yeah, all the animals kind of in general, but coyotes are here to fill a hole in the food chain. Wild dogs are definitely dangerous. Um, I want to go back because um, yes, that may have been something that I read about on your wall, and then I went elsewhere and did more research because they were talking about it in some of the community groups. Oh, did I read about that coyote attack on your wall? I did see it there, but I saw it first in my local community group, like within 10 minutes of it happening, because I'm still in the Swampscott, Massachusetts Facebook group, and they had posted about it there. So I was like, holy cow. And then when I saw it posted on your wall, I was like, that became news in Georgia. Speaking about news all over the place, though, I'm going to go back to something more fun. Who is not from the North Shore in Massachusetts, but knows who Schubert is? You want to talk about a funny, feel-good story. Schubert. Look up online, Schubert the Seal. You will not be sorry. um, Good night, Caitlin's Family Farmstead. Have a good night. Happy Grand's Garden. We have every animal discussed tonight here in Upper South Carolina. I don't doubt it. But did you have Schubert the Seal? I got Schubert the Seal. Schubert the Seal. So, fun fact, the pond where Schubert the Seal lived, if it weren't for some trees, I could see that pond from my window. I am that close. Right across the street from me is the ocean. And so right about, I don't know, 300 yards maybe from where I am right now is the, so basically there's a pond, a freshwater pond that goes over a little spillway into a drainage pond. And that has a big pipe that goes about, I'm going to say 750 feet under a parking lot, a parking garage, a condo complex or a condo building, and a street out to the ocean. And so through that big pipe, water comes in and out of the drainage pond with the tide. Well, this silly gray seal last month swam into the pipe. This is the guess. He swam into the pipe and got into the drainage pond. And there are freshwater and saltwater fish there because as it kind of commingles. And he had himself a grand old time for about a week. Everybody's like, there's a seal in the pond. We're like, there's no seal in the pond. Are you kidding me? No, there was a seal in the pond. Um, the pond itself was called the Shoe Pond because next to the pond used to be a factory called the United Shoe Corporation, and it made shoes. And my grandfather worked there, as a matter of fact. And now it's a big office complex where I've worked a few jobs in that office complex, actually. So, yeah, Schubert lived in the pond having a grand old time eating a bunch of freshwater fish in the pond. He actually climbed out of the drainage pond and up a hill, down a sidewalk, and whoop, into the main pond. So he's in the big freshwater pond, having a great time eating some bass and perch and things like that. So NOAA, National Oceanic and Aquatics, so whatever it is, came and tried to capture him, and he went, "Oh, hey, people, I'm going under your boat. Oh, you're trying to catch me over here? Whoop, now I'm over here." And he was like playing tag with them all day, and they gave up. they said, we'll come back tomorrow. Well, that night, and this is on video, there are videos of it on YouTube, you can Google it, whatever, where that night he got himself out of the pond and he went wandering around the parking lot of the office complex, took himself all the way across the parking lot to the police station, flopped himself into their parking lot, where they went, Schubert has turned himself in. And they closed the gate to where they parked the police cars. And then Noah came and picked him up from there. So Schubert turned himself in. They took him to the Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut, and he was there for about a week just to be evaluated. And he did have like some minor scrapes. So they just treated him for that. And then they gave him a new chip. I forget what his name was before. I think it was Jackal. I think his original name when they released him the first time, because he had an injury as like a yearling pup. He had an injury to his flipper. So he was there and they called him Jackal, and they released him. And then a year or two later, he was in the pond. So they decided, with all the national attention, that they have officially renamed him Schubert, and they re-released him off the coast of Rhode Island. And about 6 days later, he was back in the North Shore. They put a grate over the pipe that he went in, but his tracking chip did show that he came all the way back here, and he pinged, his chip did ping in the Bass River across the street from my. Okay, am I back? I'm back. They would have left him in the pond, but it's getting to that time of the year where the temperatures, the water temperatures are starting to drop, and it would eventually freeze. So they wanted to get him out and let him go. I figure if he came back in the spring, they might let him stay for a while. Hey, hello, McMillan's Faith and Homestead. Welcome. Hello from the honey stand in Florida. Hello. Welcome in. We were just discussing the seal that was in the pond, freshwater pond, basically like 2 houses and around a corner from my house here. Schubert the seal, if you want to go look him up online, because it was really funny. So they re-released him off the coast of Rhode Island, and he ended up back here trying to get into the pond again. I guess now he's up kind of near Gloucester, hanging out with some other seals and all of that. So that's good. That's where we want him to be. If it had been earlier in the summer, I think they may have let him hang out longer. But his fame was also starting to grow, and people for the whole week or so had been mostly respectful, but you never know what people are going to do. Okay. Oh no. Oh goodness. Yeah. Give him his meds. Go give him comfort. Oh, that's no fun. Oh, I'm sorry. That stinks. Read him The Tale of Schubert the Seal. It might lift his spirits a little bit. So now the whole area is Schubert crazy. People are writing children's books and making stickers and magnets. The office complex that has all right. Well, good night, Lisa. The office complex that is next to the pond put up a seal crossing sign, which I think is just adorable. All right. I did say I was going to wrap this up at 10, and it is now 10, almost 10:10. So I think I'm actually going to wrap this up. It is getting late. My throat is starting to say too much talking. So be on the lookout. Tomorrow I am going to do a video that's either going to be planting garlic or it's going to be a Homesteaders of America recap with my purchases and my swag, and the only the clips that I have left, which is the just all the animals, because I'm so sad my live stream, I deleted it by accident. So mad. The moment I met Jess from Roots and Refuge, running into Leanne and Bobby and Sherry and all these people, it's really cool. So I can't wait to go back to HOA next year. I really, really loved it. Yeah, but the only clips I really have left are of all the cute animals. Because I already posted the video of me with Jess. That was just really cool. It was so nice of her to take those few moments to like step away from everybody and film with me one-on-one. That was really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna do my live streams every single week, but I'm gonna try. Why is this video? I mean, maybe it's my iPad, because I'm looking at it on my iPad as well, and it looks really grainy, like really pixelated. Sorry. Yeah, so I will have videos coming out this week. I'm going to plant some garlic. I'm going to do an HOA recap. Oh, I'm going to have my chickens carve a pumpkin. I am so excited for that one. Apparently, if you just like peel a few areas of the outer, of the outer part of, and they'll just go in and start pecking, and they will carve their own pumpkin. That may be a short video, maybe not like a short, but that may be a video, but it also might end up being a live stream on Saturday. I may just hook the camera up and put it out there and let them just go nuts, and you guys can just watch them. But I also may get like, I have 2 phones now. I mean, one of them only works on Wi-Fi, but I may have one of them recording and one of them streaming, and so I'll like clip it together into a short little video. But I may have a live stream of some chicken pumpkin carving this weekend. I just thought that would be something fun and goofy. But all right, thank you guys very much for hanging out with me for an hour and almost 45 minutes tonight. It was so good to see you guys. Well, see you guys again, chat with you guys. I'm going to try to do these weekly again. I really think that's what I want to try to do. But I will, spooky story time from Salem would be fun for the season. You could not pay me to go into Salem. You could not pay me to go into Salem right now. That would take some serious super chats. Salem is insane this time of year. I did actually have a job for a season, telling scary stories at a pioneer village, the Pioneer Village in Salem. One night I was in the middle of telling this really spooky story, and all of a sudden this lady in the front row like jumped a mile. Ah! And I'm like, she looks down, and there's a cat rubbing up against her leg, and then he just jumped up on the table and sat next to me for the whole rest of the story. And I pretended like, oh yeah, he's been hanging out here for a while. Keep in mind that the house next door to, actually no, at that point the house that I was sitting in was one of the houses. They filmed Hocus Pocus in the Pioneer Village in Salem. And I was in one of the buildings that had some of the interior scenes. So I was inside. And so this black cat just pops up, and I'm like, that Banks. But so the cat sat there and hung out, but like it was in the middle of the story, and he just goes rub right against her leg, and she's ah! It was so funny. Like, it could not have been better. He hung out with us for the rest of the story, and then when I went to walk them down the trail to their next little story location, he walked with us. Tell me that wasn't Thackeray Banks. Oh, yeah. I don't think I could possibly be induced to go to Salem at any point this month. It's too much. It's too crazy. People are nuts. People are nuts. Oh, the costumes are amazing though. They they are amazing. Um, all right, I guess that's it for me tonight. 1 hour and 45 minutes, almost on the dot. I'll see you in those next videos. Bye-bye.